Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Psychic Medium Raymond Guzman, and welcome back to another celebrity mashup. We're going to discuss different things. First and foremost, welcome to all my new viewers out there. We're almost at Rays of Light. We are almost at 22,000 subscribers on my channel. I'm just so grateful to each and every one of you and love you so much. It's exciting, and I'm trying to continue to do the content and keep it all, up to date, and do things, for y'all here on the channel that are a little bit different than what other channels may be doing, etc. So the first thing I want to start off by saying is that if you have not checked out my website, or you haven't gone to my shop, I have started creating some of my own personal jewelry for you guys, and I'm selling it on my website. And I made several pendants, very unique. I use this technique called soldering, and basically it's like taking copper and some metal and melting that on top of the crystal. It's very easy to do, and I've created some pieces. I'm actually wearing one of them that's on my website right now. It's so beautiful. It's a titanium aura quartz, spirit quartz crystal. And with the spirit quartz, it's like little clusters of different crystals, and it looks like glitter almost when it's held up to the sunlight. And these crystals are very good for communication. It has the quartz property. It also has like different rainbow colors, so it's very powerful in itself, and it helps with communication as well. So I just love creating these pieces. I have some with butterflies on there, and I have one that has like the Hamza, so check them out if you haven't. When you have a chance, go ahead and check that out. So let's get straight into the tea. The first thing I want to talk about is Wendy Williams. She's still in the news. Still in the news about her relationship. Accordingly, to what I had done originally, the original reading for her about a year ago, and then followed up reading here recently, everything's coming out just like I said it would. Basically, she was spotted without her wedding ring, and people are saying that she had to come out and talk about it because she can no longer hide on to the fact that her marriage is over. It's basically over, even though she's denied it, blah blah blah, but she's not being spotted. She's been spotted already without her wedding ring, and supposedly her husband's baby mama, whatever, she's given birth, I believe, to a baby. So it's a big mess. I wish Wendy the best, but she needs to be very honest from this point forward, and I really feel like she could have another relapse if she's not careful. But that's not nothing new. We've all known that, and we've all seen that so far, how she's reacting to all of this on the news. So the next thing I want to get into was DoorDash. This is off the Shade Room. Of course, I'm discussing some of these topics that have already been posted out there. This is part of my Celeb Mashup, but this is really not really a part of a celebrity thing, but be careful out there. And I'm going to bring this up. It's about a DoorDash delivery man caught on camera sipping from the drink he was delivering. That's so gross. So if you're not familiar with what DoorDash is, these are apps that exist out on the internet, on your phone, that you can download. And basically it's runners, people that work for these companies like DoorDash, Grubhub, etc., Postmates, and they can basically, you place the order through the app on your phone at whatever restaurant you want your food to order food from, and if it's available in your area, basically they have select group of employees that drive around, pick up your food, and bring it to you to your door. This is what DoorDash is basically. And this guy was caught on the security camera of the person's home that he was delivering the food to, and he was caught sipping from the drink. First of all, in most places, because I've ordered myself sometimes on occasion, when I'm at a hotel in a large city, and hotels don't usually have breakfast unless you're like at the Hilton, etc. But most cases, they have room service, but you don't, most people want to eat good meal without having to go out, or venture early out. So I've done this before at a hotel that I was staying in, and basically ordered through Grubhub, from Denny's, a breakfast platter. But usually when they bring you drinks, they're with the lid and the straw is not inside the cup. This guy was with the straw inside the cup. So I mean, to me, if it was been handed to me like that, I wouldn't have drank from it. I wouldn't have even wanted it. But yeah, that's crazy. You got to be very careful out there. It's like nowadays you can't trust even ordering food, even pizza. There's just so many horror stories of things that are happening out there, which is unfortunate, but that's the way that our society and world is. So yeah, I wanted to talk about that. That's just really messed up. The other thing that I was going to talk about was going to be about Nicolas Cage. For those of you that don't know who Nicolas Cage is, he is an actor. And he's been married this will be his 4th, I believe. He's been married to several people, and this last marriage only lasted 4 days before they filed for an annulment. So I'm like, that's crazy. He beat basically Kim Kardashian's record and I think Britney Spears' record for the fastest marriage, but to end, that is crazy. He was engaged to, well, he was married to this what's her name? Erica. I believe her name is Koiki. Anyway, she's a beautiful lady, but when I tune into Nicolas, I see a lot of issues at hand. I feel like he's going through a midlife crisis in many ways, and I feel like he's in denial of it, and he's wanting to stay more young, which is nothing wrong with that. Age is just, it's basically you're as young as you want to be, and for him, I feel like he's trying to stay ahead, with his health and everything, stay ahead of the game, but it's catching up to him, and I feel like he's trying to live the life of a 21-year-old in many ways, and it's just catching up to him, and I feel like this was like a mistake. So I do feel like he is, and I do see that he is, and he has issues right now that he has to really address. This is more on a personal level, things that he would be going through in his life and how he's coping with it. A lot of people would refer to these as vices, etc., but these are the things that he's dealing with right now, and I feel like this was a very poor decision, but he's a good actor and he will continue to have success in the acting world, but there are some other issues. Like when I look at him as a medium, as a medical intuitive, I am very worried about his health and his health and his well-being, his mental well-being. It's because I see a lot of depression, but also like violence, like a lot of pent-up anger and frustration over his life. I don't feel like he's entirely happy, even though he has had success as an actor. He's one of the top actors out there and known for his movie roles, etc., and he's been in the industry for quite some time. But just with like any actor, there's always new young male actors out there, men who are coming onto the scene, and it's like they are given more attention, they're given more of the roles that perhaps he wants. So these are the struggles that they're going through a lot in Hollywood. A lot of these older artists or actors or actresses that are well known, of course they'll have lead roles, etc., in movies, etc., but it's funny because I've been getting a lot of clients that are celebrities, that are actresses, rather, and the one thing that I'm seeing in the trend among actresses in Hollywood is that there, a lot of people are wanting to know, why is it that they have not had their big break in Hollywood yet? Why haven't they, gotten to the point where they are, getting that extra movie role? And they're very adamant that they're not, someone that would jeopardize who they are and their integrity to get ahead. But they want to know, the thing is, like when I do these celebrity readings for a lot, on a lot of these celebrities, not every single one of them is into the Illuminati, not every single one of them is into satanic rituals, etc., or forces of darkness. So I want to make that clear in this video. That's not every single artist. There's a small select few of them, or in the that are either in the music industry or the acting industry, that are in these cliques or these social circles. But to answer that question, when I see those patterns, a lot of people, and I think y'all can relate to it as well. Let's say you are in, you're working as an engineer, or you're working as a nurse, but it doesn't fulfill you. And a lot of people are saying, well, you know, initially I had a lot of passion for this position or this career path, but now I no longer have that interest, or it just doesn't fulfill me. And there's just like this empty feeling, or I like dread going to work every day. Why is that? Why does this happen? Why am I not having, you know, the success that, let's say, someone else is, you know, without having to worry about it? You have to understand that first and foremost that we are all on different life paths, and so not you know, we each have our individual soul contract or blueprint that we are born into this world with. We usually write it before we are born into this world. And so everybody's life path and journey is different. Just because your friend, your best friend maybe, is an A-list actress or actor and they are having success in their career, you know, that is the path that they chose prior to coming to Earth. I do believe in free will and that we can change a lot of that was written to a certain extent. And kind of, you know, with the careers we can get into that level of success. But a lot of times the universe is going to block you and reroute you from a position or that you want, or that you have interviewed for or auditioned for, and the universe may block you inadvertently from that and reroute you to a different direction. And it's like a lot of people keep fighting for their dream to make it come true, and that's commendable, and that's something that's very good. But if you've been, you know, fighting for quite some time and it's not happening for you, where you're, you know, landing that particular role, my advice to you as a spiritual medium and advisor is not to give up on it, but also to realize that there may be more that the universe is trying to show you that's before your eyes. Perhaps there's a different career path that aligns better with you. And this is the thing that when I get into readings, private readings with individuals, and I'm telling them, I don't tell them what they want to hear. And a lot of times they may come out of the reading kind of like, you know, well, that's not what I wanted to hear. I wanted to hear something positive. In fact, I had a lady the other day that got a reading with me, and she has a lot of goals, etc., but she wanted to know the insight that, you know, that from Spirit's perspective that I saw, and I gave her the information, and then she came back and you know, a few days later, and she wanted another reading and wanted something positive out of it, and I refunded her. And I said, you know, that I'm not one of those psychic mediums that takes advantage of people. I believe that if you are given a reading, you should wait like 3 to 6 months for your next reading if you want. You know, I leave that up to my clients whenever you're ready for a reading, but I don't feel like you should get a reading like every single week or every couple of days. And there are some people that are addicted, that are out there that are addicted and are easy prey to psychic mediums out there. Being very ethical about this, you know, a person needs to let time. The way I explained it to my client is that I understand her concern, and that if they go back and reread my reading, it wasn't all entirely negative. It's just, it wasn't exactly what they wanted to hear. But the funny thing is that a lot of times I find out that, you know, months later they come back to me and they tell me, you know, your reading didn't make a lot of sense right then and there, but it makes a lot of sense now. And that's the thing about healing and helping. I even had a male friend of mine, a client, he got a reading last year in 2018 from me, and he was just talking about well, in the reading itself, you know, I'm not going to give too much details, but basically he was in a relationship. Well, he wanted to have a relationship with a particular guy that lived out of the country, and this situation wasn't conducive to his well-being. That's what Spirit brought forth, and I was very, you know, open and honest with that. And even though he didn't want to hear that, you know, necessarily, he did end up going overseas to that country where that guy that he was interested in was, and spent a few days. And that's what I had told him, you know, maybe spend a few days kind of before you make a permanent move over there, because I don't feel like this is going to work out, and you will have things revealed to you. And of course I'm not giving you specific details, I'm just giving you kind of a generalized what the reading was, a general portion of what happened. So he ended up going and being disappointed by what he saw, and he could see that everything that Spirit had told him was true. And he thanked me after and wrote a testimonial on my website about this later on, thanking me because he said that had he gone through with what his heart wanted, well, what he thought he wanted, but I think it was more of his mind than his heart at the time, he would have been sadly disappointed, and it would have like uprooted his life in a very negative manner. So this is something that's very good, you know, that he listened to what Spirit had to say, and he just, you know, didn't go forth with it. And that's the thing with my private readings, what you can expect from it when I do a private reading for my clients. And I don't read just celebrities, I read everyday people, anywhere in the world. I have clients all over. I never sugarcoat anything, but if anything is perceived as negative, it's not really negative. I'm not someone that tells someone, you know, when they're going to die, or, you know, that blah 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 is going to happen. That is, you know, just pure negative in the reading. You know, there's positives in there, but again, people will perceive how they interpret it, because a lot of people go into a psychic reading wanting a certain answer, and that's not how Spirit operates. You know, Spirit will give you what you need for your greatest and highest good of all concern. And so that's, you know, what I am getting into. So going back to, you know, these actresses that I've had, you know, as clients that have come to me about their career paths and not having that big break in Hollywood, it's because of the fact that the universe may be telling you, you know, this is not the career path for you right now, or it's not exactly where you need to be. So even though you don't have to give up on your dream, maybe refocus and reshift your priorities. Because if you are, let me tell you this, let me break it down for you like this. If you are, let's say, wanting to be an actress in Hollywood, and you are struggling to book gigs, to book or roles, and you're not getting paid, are you going to continue to just be, you know, living on crumbs while you are auditioning and getting turned down for roles and months are going by? No, you have to survive. You have bills to pay. So that's the thing. I keep it real all the time, and I you know, I come from a very real standpoint when I give advice. Like, people, I think, you know, they think it's all about being a gypsy or fortune teller, and you're giving them, you know, future. The future is unwritten, and I'm very clear about that. So what I can give you are snippets of what we see, but I try to give people life skills, like a coach, a life coach, on how to, from a spiritual perspective and spiritual insight, how they can kind of navigate and move forward with ideas and areas that I see that would be beneficial to them from Spirit, of course, coming from Spirit. So, like, you know, like I said, if you're going to just be struggling and not being able to pay your bills, then the universe is telling you something. To a certain point, you have to wake up and say, you know, this is not for me. I need to really kind of branch out and maybe try something different. And a lot of times people that are in these situations will see angel numbers like 222, 111. And this is what I've always said about angel numbers. When you see these synchronicities and they're continuously appearing to you, Spirit is basically telling you that there is something in your life that needs to be changed. But oftentimes we misconstrue that message, and we're not really listening to it. So, you know, it's very important that you listen to Spirit and what they have to say. And you're not going to always hear a voice talking to you. Sometimes it may be the sound of your own voice. That's how Spirit, you know, kind of communicates and channels through us. But you may also be, you know, looking at certain situations, and you may have someone that comes to you and tells you, you know, what are you doing here? You know, like I said before, I've worked several jobs. I've worked in retail before, and one time I was working at Hobby Lobby at the store, and I loved working there while I was there, but I wasn't getting paid, you know, the money that I needed to survive. And I was like 20 years old, and I was a cashier. Well, I ended up having this guy walk into my line, and he just told me, you don't belong here. And I was like, what? Like, you know, I didn't really even tell him what, but I just, like, I couldn't understand what he was trying to say. And he was basically saying, you know, that I was, somehow he knew that I was, well, you know, I was worth more than just working as a cashier, or that I had abilities. You know, I had something special in me that he could see. So I'm thinking he was intuitive in many ways. And shortly after that, I ended up quitting and working at a call center, and then it immediately escalated up to a senior business analyst. But You know, that's the thing with the universe, and with those of you that are struggling right now with financially struggling, pursuing, you know, your dream goal. If you're pursuing it for money, for the money or the fame, but you're lacking spirituality, that is going to be, you know, there's a lot of people that I know that are ambitious, and they are very much about, you know, wanting to be famous and have that money and be successful, and be happy in life. But you can be happy. The thing that I've learned is that you cannot be happy and you cannot be successful in life without a core foundation of your principles, and that would be spirituality. You can practice, drink kombucha, you can wear your mala beads, you can do yoga, you can be a vegetarian, but at the end of the day, if you're, all of that is just like a facade. If you really don't believe in your spirituality, you don't have like solid core principles in your spirituality, and you're grounded as a person and humble, and you're driven by ego, what's going to happen is that you're going to have some success. You're going to network, of course, with people that you attract at the vibration that you're in. You're going to mingle, you're going to have these famous friends, etc. And you're going to have a certain level of success, but then you're going to feel empty still inside. And you're not going to necessarily be as successful or get into those roles or things that you want to, because you have neglected your spirituality and your spiritual essence of who you are, being authentic to who you are. So, you know, when I am coaching clients and I'm giving them spiritual insight, these are the things that I bring forth, the things that I see. And it's not that I'm judging people, because I don't know you. I don't know you from, you know, just what I see on a picture, on a photograph. But when I see a photograph, I can read off the energy and the soul energy, and give you the insight that I see. You know, whether you want to accept it or not, sometimes it's difficult for people to accept it, or it may not make sense in that moment, but that's what Spirit is giving. So again, you know, I have a lot of people that I know that, you know, are at that level in their life where they are somewhat happy, but not entirely happy. And this is the reason why, like I said, if you're out there and you're really wanting to succeed, you're going to have to really strip away all the facades, you know, and really be truly spiritual. Because a lot of people will, you know, be in that meditation zone. They will do the mala beads, you know, the kombucha, the vegetarian, but at the end of the day, when they're around other people, they're judging people, they're gossiping, they're, you know, not living up to the principles, or the purity of spirit, and the purity of being authentic and vibrating high. These people are more like, you know, they have inside jokes, or they judge someone by how they look, how they weigh, you know, what kind of clothes they drive, or the car they drive, etc. And those are the things that we have to do as humans. So we have to strip away all of that. All of that is a low vibration. All of that takes us away from source. All of that disconnects us. And so a lot of people always say, well, you're a clear channel, Ray. You know, you're such a clear channel. How can I get to that point of being a clear channel? And that's what I'm talking about. You know, in order to get to being a clear channel and connecting to source and connecting to your own abilities, you have to stop being judgmental. You have to stop vibrating at low levels, or letting people around you, surrounding you, that are negative, and then that same manner they pull you into that. Even if you're considered innocent in all of that. So it's very important for you to kind of recognize those patterns, those thought processes, and really strip away from all of that, because all of that is just nothing but bad energy that will follow you and continue to haunt you in your life and anything that you're trying to do. So I know I'm preaching today, but really it's just like me doing a story time, and really kind of, you know, giving you, like, you know, in these videos, I hope that you take away from them, not me, because I'm not a person that's filled with ego. I'm very grateful, and I know what I'm here for on earth to do. But I hope that through my videos, that a lot of you that are listening can take away some valuable insight to things that are occurring in your everyday life. even through the celebrity readings that I do, I hope that you can connect to the puzzle or the piece of what these celebrities go through, and these historical figures have gone through that I do readings on, and for you to really kind of take away something from that for yourself and find healing in these messages. And I love, you know, when I'm in the zone like I am today, to be able to really give you the messages, you know, that Spirit has out there for a lot of you, because I know a lot of you out there, all my rays of light, there's a lot of you out there that are struggling financially, that are struggling with your careers. You've went to college, you have maybe a master's or a doctorate's degree, a PhD, and you're just not happy still with your career. There's something that's lacking. So I really am so grateful. I'm not one of those YouTubers to edit anything, so what you see is what you get, and it's raw, it's unedited, and it's just me being real with you. So again, I really hope that you enjoyed this. If you did like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Also, be sure to follow me on Facebook and Instagram. Don't forget to hit that red subscribe button on the bottom right hand corner of this video, and the notification bell icon, so that way you can be notified of any future videos that I do publish. Also, don't forget to pick up a copy of my new book, Starseed Footsteps. It is available on my website if you want an autographed copy. If you want to get just a regular non-autographed copy, it's available on Amazon or barnesandnoble.com. And don't forget to check out again this jewelry. This is a precious crystal here. So there's a lot of these on my website. So blessings and love and light. Have an amazing day or night wherever you are in the world.